Aaron, welcome to the show. And hey, we appreciate you calling in and designating. I don't mind. Let's do this kind of going forward. A Wrestle Madness segment. You're doing a fantasy uh, brackets for each weight class. Now, we did finalize the heavyweight weight class just last week or the week before. And I believe Gable Stevenson won that. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes, he beat Snyder in the finals. He beat Hasselrig in the semis. My boy Bruce Baumgartner, my old head coach from Edinburgh, came in fourth place. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And hearing you guys talk about it a couple weeks ago on your show, it's exactly what we were hoping to achieve with this off-season event that we put together. Was just to get the chatter going, getting the talk going, exposing people to these legends of our sport. And it's been real fun to dive in and find out more about some of these names that I've always heard of coming up through the wrestling ranks. And yeah, hope it.
Yeah. No, well, Aaron, I'll say this. Not only is it fun, I mean, it's just fun to
Yeah.
go and do these brackets, but it also, I mean, I just found myself naturally looking up and researching a lot of these wrestlers. Like you
Yep.
said, you're learning about them because look, there's a name will come up I don't necessarily know a lot about, so I have to go do my research. I don't want to make a dumb pick. Now, I believe my semifinals was Kyle Snyder was in there. I think Bruce, obviously Gable, and man, now I can't even remember. Kevin. It was another big name I was
McCoy?
getting a little bit of criticism for.
Did you have McCoy in there?
No, I did not have McCoy.
No.
It was someone else, but
I had Stephen Neal. I liked him, but man, Aaron, this is brilliant. Like this whole thing, I love it. And like Zach said, it gets people talking about the studs of that aren't necessarily brought up anymore, and gets hopefully gets the younger guys looking into these, watching some film, about Bruce
Yep.
Baumgartner, Steve Neal, and I'm excited every time. I can't wait to see the rest of the brackets. I'm itching.
yeah,
Well, I'll
Aaron's here
tell
to
you what.
break down 157. Aaron, yeah, go ahead, Aaron.
I was just gonna say, spoiler alert: 158, 165 will be fire. That bracket is loaded with a couple four timers, and but yeah, they're all fun, and we can't wait to put them all out there. But one at a time, and yeah, you guys want to talk some 50, 57 pound goat
I do.
match?
By the way, before we do that, I had Brock Lesnar was my other semifinalist.
Oh
But
yeah, yeah.
Aaron, I'm sorry, I didn't introduce you properly. If there's anything you kind of want to introduce us to Wrestle Matness, where we can find them, how we can join these brackets and join this conversation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's pretty simple. WrestleMatness.com, and when you go immediately on the homepage, you'll see an orange button that says "Join the Madness," and you click on that. If you haven't done it yet, you'll have to create a profile for yourself, and you are now a member. And you can play all of our events currently for free, and you can immediately go to the current events that are up and begin voting on these weight classes as we go through them for the next month or so.
Yeah, and you guys have ongoing things. I know
Oh,
I was part of the Olympic trials brackets that you guys had, and there was a women's and a men's. I participated in both. Fared pretty well in the men's, but it was I mean that was fun. You guys had a lot of participants in that. In fact, it was broken down into groups. But
yep.
yeah, so you guys have
Yeah, my,
ongoing
my
things
brother
throughout the
Clint
year,
is
not only in addition to this.
correct. Yeah, my brother's dropping. Clint is dropping the Olympic Games brackets as we speak, so they'll be up on the website maybe as early as tonight, if not tomorrow. So you can join that. And as you were mentioning, you can join private leagues. You can jump into the open tournament and play against all Wrestle Madness competitors on that. But get your friends, your family together, your coaching staffs, your ex wrestling teammates. Put a league together and see who picks the best. That's the idea
Folks, it's
on those brackets.
fantasy
Awesome.
wrestling. It's fantasy wrestling, and I can tell you this: BEG Wrestling. We're teaming up with Wrestle Madness here for this upcoming season. Our fantasy league, okay, folks. So BEG Wrestling Fantasy League. So Aaron, we'll connect with you after this, but yeah, definitely going to be utilizing your services. Now, we have what is, I believe, active now as of a couple days ago, which is the 157-pound bracket that we have here. So I want to throw it to you if there's anything you want to kind of touch on, elaborate. How long is the voting open for? Anything?
Yeah, so it's the 157 pound bracket because we in 1999, I believe the rules changed where they added that 7 pounds for weight cutting reasons, and so those weights relate the best when you break it down. So it's 10 weight classes coincide all the way through, 118, 125, all the way up through heavyweight unlimited. But we started at 1970 and worked forward from there. Wanted to give us enough wrestlers to draw 32 wrestlers from, and plus, research wise, you can still go back and find information. You can see videos of these 70s wrestlers even wrestling on YouTube. So when you start going back further than that, it's tough to really dig in and get good background information, which is what we wanted to be able to happen when you research these brackets. I'm glad to hear that, Zach, that you feel the need to go and make educated picks because,
well, hey, yeah.
I
don't want to be exposed. I'm not out trying to get exposed, but Wayne just joined us, but question. Kevin's got something. Go to Wayne, Kevin.
Just real quick. I was wondering, what made you do the order that you're doing in, and is it going to be kind of sporadic going forward as far as like you started at heavyweight and then went mid? Is there any method that you're doing, or are you just kind of going order-wise?
Yeah, great question, Kevin. I just sort of randomly, when I started this, I started with heavyweight, and nobody starts with heavyweight. So
yeah,
since that was the first bracket that I put together, I was like, let's start with heavyweight. And 50-57 I felt was a pretty strong bracket as well. So I thought it would be a good follow-up to the heavyweight. As far as that goes, though, as a method, not really. I think we're going to do 125 next to let the cat out of the bag. I don't know if I had Clint's permission to give that away or not, but your listeners know that now. 118, 125 will be next, which, ultimately when you look at it, I guess it goes, heavyweight, heaviest, middle, and then lightest, and then we'll start filling in the holes in between there, I guess.
Makes sense. Very cool.
All right, Wayne just joined us on the road. What are you calling in for, Wayne?
Thank you for taking my call, Zach. Look,
I feel weird calling Wayne, but go ahead.
Thank you, Aaron. We all absolutely love what you're doing, and Zach, I like you include teaming up with these other podcasts. That's a great idea, and I absolutely love it. And just want to tell Aaron that all of his work is appreciated, and keep it up.
Thank you, Wayne.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
They plan on it. Hey, keep up all that safe driving out there, sir. When are you getting back on the show? You had a week off last week again.
No, wait. It wasn't my fault, Jack. You were the one out in China.
I like the haircut, by the way.
China or wherever you were. I'm not sure, but... And by the way, folks, I'm in a big parking lot. I'm not out in the roadways here. I'm here at work driving a truck. I can hear people right now. Oh, what's he doing? Look at him.
Look.
He's a risk. He's a risk. Yeah. No, I'm in a parking lot here.
Everybody realizes how much of a risk it is listening to this show anytime they tune in already. Who are we kidding?
Hey, I'll shut up so Aaron can keep going. I want to hear more. Listen, I'm back Tuesday. I don't know if Zach will be there, but I'll be there. And I got a lot to say.
Bam!
Well,
I can't wait.
First off, your haircut is awesome.
And he's got a brand new haircut.
Hey,
so,
wow.
Hey, Kevin, does it make me look thinner? Be honest.
It makes you look awesome.
No, hey, look. Okay, thanks. I appreciate
good, my
that,
man.
Kevin.
Looking good.
All right.
All right, see you guys.
See ya.
Take
See
it
ya.
easy, Wayne.
See you, Wayne.
All right. Just a quick call-in shout out to Aaron and Wrestle Matness there. The 157 or 50. I'm sorry. I'm just thinking NCAA wrestling terms here, but
Yeah.
it is 150, right? Correct?
To 157. To 157.
Yeah,
157.
150, 157 combined. Yes, sir.
Okay. And how long are the polls open until in this weight class
They're
to
open.
vote on?
They're open up until 12 o'clock midnight on Sunday.
Okay, folks. So you
They
have
got
less
2
than a
more
week.
days to get their votes. Yes,
Less than a week. I see Lincoln McElroy, my boy from the previous
McElroy.
Goat Toy team, Iowa.
McElravy.
It's unbelievable because I made a special about him. I made a special about McElravy as the number 1 seed. Wow. I mean, is that who you're picking there, Aaron? Is that who you're picking, Kevin?
That is who I'm picking, and I'll tell you what. I got to see him. I went to the 1995 NCAAs. Was my first tournament in Iowa.
Look at him.
And it was the one NCAA that McElravy lost. He lost to Marionette, and I got to see that. That was pretty wild. Nobody expected that.
McElravy was part of that greatest team of all time out of Iowa, coached by Dan Gable, prior to this most recent season, Penn State breaking the record. But he was part of that squad. I know all about it.
And I do see Marionette is in this bracket too. And I was just wondering, Aaron, was it hard picking these brackets? Were there guys that were like, did you find yourself having to find guys to fill the 32, or did you find yourself having to cut guys out to put the 32? Do you know what I mean?
I unfortunately had to cut a couple people out. It worked out pretty close to being the exact number that I needed. But for example, this particular bracket, we had Ben Charrington comment on either the Wrestling Room or on Wrestle Matness's Facebook page that he the only one that was left out. So I had to touch base with him. I was like, man, I tried hard to get him in because he had a great title season, undefeated, I believe, and it was close. It was between him and JP O'Connor to get in, and he lost out just barely.
I think you made the right
good wrestler
choice.
Missed the cut, but
yeah.
Aaron, what is the criteria for ranking? So, like,
I
inevitably,
take
there's got to be.
Yeah. I had to formulate it so it didn't become emotional, right? So I went with NCAA titles, and then outstanding wrestler awards or Hodge trophies. They count the same in here. And if you want a Hodge and an outstanding wrestler, you don't get double for that. It just counts as 1 bonus point per se in the seeding rankings. And then moving on to other final appearances. So if you were in the finals once, twice, 3 times, but didn't win, that would bump you up in the seeding. And then other All-American placings would also be considered. And then finally, career record and, the peak season or their season that they had the best record or won their title in would be used. So an undefeated season ranks pretty high.
Wow, Stat Kevin, do you agree with that? What do you disagree with in those rankings?
First I want to say this. It takes a lot of balls to do something like this because you're never going to make everyone happy, right? But one thing I will say this, and I think it's kind of gone unnoticed, is I don't see anyone complaining about the rankings or who's in or who's out. I don't see it. And that in itself is an amazing feat because anytime anybody puts something like this together, my bad. Anytime somebody puts anything like this together, people are complaining all the time about, oh, well, you left this guy out, you left that guy out. I think these seeds are brilliant. I really love them. I love the people that have been in these 2 brackets so far. I'm not going, oh, why is he seated here? I don't find myself doing that at all. So I think you guys did one heck of a job, and it really says a lot about the amount of time and effort you put into and thought into seeding these. So Great job.
Yeah, I agree. Aaron, I just want to say one final thing. In the spirit of the political season, okay, I am going to see if I can myself personally start up my own group of influence to sway votes of an individual wrestler in your bracket, starting with this. I'm not sure who. I know Norfolk too. I love, and you know what? I might get a little coup together in the spirit of the
Love it.
politics. See if I can sway North to overcome Lincoln. How about that? Right?
I mean, our dream is to have Oklahoma State fans
Yeah.
getting behind their wrestlers, and Penn State fans getting behind their wrestlers, and Goat Madness becomes this just social media chatter back and forth about who's the best and why. But even back to Kevin's point about the seating, even if we have had comments as to where's this guy, or why is this guy seated here, it's all good because it's all talk about wrestling. So
yeah,
I agree.
you're absolutely right with that. And you did a really good job too of putting you don't have like 6 Iowa guys in a bracket. You're really getting guys from all different schools. So I'm guessing that has a lot to do with you wanting to incorporate fans from every single college. Am I right? To get
I mean,
involved
I'm
with
grabbing
those.
the NCAA champions. I'm really at the mercy of who won between 1970 and today. But there's a lot of Iowa guys in this bracket. There's a lot of Minnesota guys in the heavyweight bracket. But it is what it is. It's who won their championship. And, it is what it's going to be who qualifies, I guess.
Well,
Again,
if it comes down to team spirit, I up to this point have been voting strictly off of stats. Plus, I have this element of era versus era comparison. I do, Aaron, a little bit like someone who I think is equivalent in this era. I'm going to vote to beat someone who I find the equivalent in an older era, just of evolution of sports and strength. But if it does come down to teams, I'm voting Iowa. I'm voting just all Iowa wrestlers. Lincoln. Come on, Lincoln. I mean, do I have to pull my weight for Lincoln to win this one?
All right.
I don't know. I feel like I might have to because there's going to be a lot of North people out there. A lot of Penn State people, especially after hearing this, are going to be
So
going
who's your
and getting
semis?
in.
Who's your semis then?
Wow. Wade Chalice.
Mm-hmm.
Wade Chalice. I just saw him. I can't. I don't have my glasses on, Aaron. That's a problem.
You have him beating Carr, huh?
I got mine ready here.
Well,
right
I got to go
Let
with
me
my boy Wade Chalice. Just no matter
absolutely.
what. And Kevin, give yours while I look at it real quick, and I'll give you
All
mine.
right. For semis, I got Lincoln over Chalice, and then I got. I mean, I'm not really going too much against you here, but I got Nolf over Ryan Deacon.
Oh.
That one side of the bracket I just felt was really open. The one with Mark Girella in it, and maybe it's because I'm not as familiar with him as I should be. That very well could be. I could get a lot of probably hate comments from Michigan fans here,
right.
But yeah.
I got Lincoln.
Think,
I got Lincoln, Wade Chalice, North, and I gotta look for my fourth. I'm gonna have to do a little more research. But while I do that, we actually, Aaron, I want to give you a chance to any final thoughts for anything because Marty's on the line, and when Marty calls in, things tend to get a little wild. So, but he's in the green room as we speak. So I want to give you your chance. Any final thoughts?
Can I ask him something real quick?
Yep.
What was your favorite matchup, Aaron, or your favorite couple matchups in this bracket when you were looking at it?
I loved the Dzik versus let me look at Heffernan.
Yep. Round one.
Dzik being from Slippery Rock, which is 30 minutes from where I live.
Okay.
Chalice again being a Clarion guy. I'm a Pittsburgh kid, so these are colleges I visited. These are camps I went to. So, but Heffernan Iowa guy. He's coach of Illinois. That matchup I really found intriguing. I really liked the Monday versus Kinseth matchup in the first round. I thought that shouldn't have been a first round matchup. Those are two.
Yeah,
I mean, they're all studs, but
absolutely.
Kinseth pinned his way through the NCAA tournament, and then everybody knows who Kenny Monday is. So those two really caught me off guard as far as first round matchups. I thought the Bono Desmarais matchup was pretty strong. Kind of from the same era, just missed each other, didn't overlap, but that'd have been a good battle to see.
Well,
It's
Aaron,
interesting,
listen,
too.
we're gonna have
Sorry.
we're
Go
gonna have
ahead,
to
sorry,
have you
man.
call back in next Friday, so you can
Okay.
give us the updates on this weight class, and then open us up to next week's weight class, right?
Yeah, we'll talk 18, 19, 18, and 25, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thanks
Well,
so
hey,
much.
Thank you so much,
games.
folks.
All right. Thank you, guys.
WrestleMatness.com. Go find them now. They're on the BEG Wrestling Facebook page. They're all over it. And go vote now. So your vote matters in the spirit of politics, political season, folks. Get on and go vote. Aaron, thank you so much. We'll
Thanks,
see you next
Aaron.
week.